Hello and welcome to another episode of Play Cool Songs. Today we're going to check out Such a Night by Dr. John, and then I'll just talk you through a few approaches to learning chord tones within arpeggios using the harmony of this tune. So let's jump into it. Here is the chords for the verse. We're in B flat to start with, B flat minor, F major to D minor, and then to F7. B flat minor, F, D minor, F7. And then the tag on the end of the verse, once we come back around to that B flat, we'll move up to the C. Have a listen along to the song and you'll hear all that in context pretty easily, I think. From there we move into the chorus or the refrain, the B section, and that's simply an F to a B flat. And then back around to our verse progressions. So I like these chord progressions because they're a little bit jazzy, really melodic when you start digging out some lines for yourself here. And a lot of that would be built off your understanding of chord tones within these arpeggio shapes. So an approach that I would take with my students in learning these chord tones would be to put that progression in a loop or even just play along to the track. And then we're just going to go right back to basics, and the exercise would be, look, play the tonic note of each chord as it happens. So we've got our B flat to start with, so I'll just be holding that B flat there, B flat minor, now I'm just holding that B flat there, to the F of course, to the D, and then back to the F. Okay, now the next thing I would do is say, right, well, we're going to hit the third of each chord as it happens. So in this case here, the third would be a D natural, and then that moves to D flat, over that B flat minor, and then my third is a note over the F, and then I've got an F note over that D minor, and then my A note over the F7 again. Okay, so probably get the idea. I'll then move through my fifth and my seventh there as well. The seventh would really be on that first chord, which he would suggest a B flat major 7 when he puts that melody line in there. So you'll hear this in the piano part. Right, so we've just got that little melody line happening within that chord. So to play that, I'm just hitting that G note on the 8th fret, and then just bringing that first finger back to the A note on that top E string. Right, now I'm on the B flat minor. Right, so that kind of thing is happening within the piano part, so just transferring that over to guitar context. Excuse me. So there's the minor, okay, and so we're just hitting that A flat, so that would turn it into a B flat minor 7. So they're tones that you could also use within that exercise where you're just highlighting, the chord tones as they're happening in real time. So to take that one step further, you might then play a full arpeggio over the top of each chord. So, B flat major 7. B flat minor 7. To the F, to the D minor, D minor 7, why not, and then to an F7. So, I've taken a lot of those arpeggio shapes from this book here, and I highly recommend this one as a learning resource, Artful Arpeggios by Don Mock. Just a lot of really usable shapes in there that are musical, and for me, I might play maybe 20% of what's in this book, but even that goes a long way. And for me, it's just mapping out the fretboard in such a way that I can see these arpeggio shapes sort of imprinted, and in real time now I can move to these chord tones as the harmony is happening and as those chord changes are moving through, so that I can land on strong notes. And what I mean by that is I usually will be looking to land on a chord tone as that chord happens. So for example, in that B flat, and then moving to the minor, I might reflect that in my line. So okay, so I've just tried to play on the third of each chord there. Okay, moving from that D to that D flat for the B flat minor chord, and then mapping the F there as well. So if I just play the arpeggios as, you know, they read from that book, it's just going to sound like an exercise. So the idea is that I'm building up to, you know, creative freedom by teaching myself these fundamentals of the fretboard. So I want to know where all the notes are of that B flat major 7, that B flat minor 7, and then the F, so that when I'm called upon to take a solo over these chords, that I can outline the chord changes as they're happening. And that's a real sort of key thing about, you know, playing jazz or making your melody lines sound musically strong and cohesive, as if it's coming out of the harmony, right? So the lead lines often reflect what the chords are doing. Okay, so having a good understanding of the chords, and then the arpeggios within, and then mapping out the scales that correspond to that. Really, that's kind of the blueprint. Those are the ingredients to then, you know, start improvising. Whatever your level of complexity with improvisation is going to be. But really, that's the knowledge and understanding which I think underpins what a lot of improv players are using. So anyway, that's just an exercise that I would share with my students. Hopefully it's useful for you as well. It might make more sense if I have a looper pedal here to demonstrate these things for future videos, but hopefully you can hear what it is that I'm getting at. So just mapping out chord tones as the harmony plays through. Once I did it in that position, I would then ask my student to move to a new position and play these chords using different voicings, and then that's going to change the placing of all those chord tones again. So if I was just to move down here, here's B flat or B flat major 7, right? Then to the B flat minor, B flat minor 7, excuse me, and then to the F major, then to the D minor, okay, and then to the F7, that's that, or that one there. So those shapes are, you know, going to be different in that position of the fretboard, and therefore my chord tones are just going to be in different spots, so different strings, etc. So here I am on the B flat, so now my B flat is here. On the third string, third fret of the G string, and then stays there for the minor, of course, and then the F is there, and I think that illustrates, you know, my point. And I'd be looking to do that in all positions of the cage system, essentially, where we're using that system to find where the 5 positions would be along the fretboard there, and then figuring out where my chord tones exist within the various chord shapes. So, you know, B flat looks like that up here, whereas that's the shape that I'm using for F down there. So it's really one of those things, I think, that you need to just put in the work and you know, figure out what notes you're looking for and where they are. And really that's the best way, I think, for you to commit it to your memory, where it's going to be, you know, the most useful and most value for you as a player. So you can look at tabs and look at these books to help you through, but I think also just joining the dots with, well, this is the third and this is an A note, for example, within the F chord there. All those things are just starting to layer upon each other just to give you a really good understanding of the fretboard. So hopefully you find that useful. It's a cool song. Play along with it, and I'll see you again soon for another episode. All right, bye.